Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, today, 23rd September. So previously we talked about 7 universes, right? 7 universes. So this one, attention is the last one. Attention is the last one. In Pali, manasikara. Manasikara. Manasikara literally means making in the mind. Making in the mind is called manasikara. Normally, in the flight, we normally hear, "May I have your attention, please?" Right? May I have your attention, please? Attention, yes, manasikara. Manasikara. So, how to say, the announcer is making your mind, making your mind, So you're making your mind in the song, announcement, in the announcement. Making in the mind. So in Abhidhamma, Manatikara turns the mind toward the object. Your mind turns to the object. Now you are listening. Then you hear a train, the train is making a lot of noises, right? So that means you turn your mind to the train, the sound of the train. If your mind is turning to the point what I'm talking, you will have all attention to the lessons, right? Sometimes your mind may go to the train noise, right? The train noise. So that means the mind turn to the train. So here, the object can be anything. Thing that you see, thing that you heard, smell, taste and touch, and the mind object, right? So now, while you're listening the lessons, you turn your mind to your family at home. Family at home. So that means your family is an object. Your mind turns to your object. That is the characteristics of attention. So that means you have attention about your family. Manasikara. It associates with all chetas. So therefore, attention is an important factor in Abhidhamma. It will associate with all type of chetas. So that means any cheta and cetasika will associate with attention. So without attention, you will not have any cheta and cetasika, right? So therefore, attention is one of the universal cetasikas. Making the object in the mind, Making the object in the mind. Now, you think about your family. So that means you make your family in your mind. That is attention. Of course, this is easy to understand, but when you do not learn Abhidhamma, you will not know. So attention associated with all type of cetas and cetasika. All type of cetas. It is compared to a charioteer who drive the well-trained horses toward his destination, toward his destinations. So normally, to understand the nature of attention, we give example of a charioteer. So here, charioteer trying to control the horses, right? Trying to control the horses, so that the chariot go to the desired destination, right? Desired destination. So here, the well-trained horses mean associated mental factors. Associated mental factor mean together with attention, we will have at least the other 6 universal cetasika will ride together, right? Consciousness, one consciousness, and the other 6 universal cetasika. So they are called the associated mental factors. Because the consciousness, the other 6 universal cetasika will arise together with attention. So that means this manasikara cetasika were trying to drive other associated mental factors to reach to the object. Suppose if you are thinking about your family right now, so that means attention make all associated ceta and cetasika in the mind. Compared to a charioteer. So that means attention is like a charioteer. He's trying to control the other associated mental factor. Here, associated mental factor means the other 6 universal cetasika, right? We have 7, right? 7 universal cetasika. We are talking about attention. So this one is the last one. So the function of attention is to drive the other 6 universal cetasika toward the object. So that is the function of attention, manasikara. So this manasikara has 2 types. So the first one is, we call it yoniso manasikara. Some people may know in Pali, because especially in the meditation center, they will teach you this Pali, yoniso manasikara, right? We translate as a wise attention. Bhikkhu body, you careful attention. So if you are care about your attention, and wholesome, kusala ceta will arise. Another one is, opposite one is ayoniso manasikara, unwise attention. Sometimes we call it careless attention. So if you have an unwise attention, so that will be the cause of unwholesome, akusala. Wise attention, or careful attention. So we already learned there are 4 factors of becoming Sotapanna. One of them is wise attention. Having wise attention, you must have a careful attention. Then only you'll be able to attain enlightenment. Yoniso manasikara and ayoniso manasikara. Wise attention is important for the rising of wholesome deed. Unwise attention or careless attention is the root of akusala. We have 2 types. Attention literally means making in the mind. Making in the mind. Attention makes an object in the mind, an object in the mind. Now, when you think about your family, so attention will make your family in your mind. So that is the literal meaning. Manasikara. Manasi means in the mind, kara means making. Actually, attention means the mind, your mind turn to the object. In that way, the object became in your mind. But right now you're listening to me, my voice is an object. So you turn your mind to what I'm talking, my voice. So my voice is an object. So you make my voice in your mind. So that means, not you, I mean, attention making, Attention makes my voice in your mind, like that, And after that, you think about your family. So that means, normally we say, you think about your family. It is because of attention. Attention make your family in your mind, right? Okay, so I think that's not very difficult. So, any question for this one? Manasikara. No question, right? I think, okay. Now we already finished 7 universes. Shall 7 universes. Contact, feeling, perception, volition, one-pointedness, life faculty, attention. Altogether 7. So according to Theravada Abhidhamma, all these 7 universal Cetasika will arise, will associate with any type of Cetas. Wherever Ceta will arise, they will associate. Then I have eye, something to see, then eye consciousness arise, right? As soon as eye consciousness arise, these 7 universal Cetasika also will arise together. They arise together at the same time, At the same time. But they make different function. They have a different function. Contact function. Feeling, to experiencing the object. Perception, perceiving an object. Chetana, volition or motivation. Chetana trying to motivate, Chetana trying to motivate or push, other Cetasika regarding with the object. One-pointedness, only you have your mind point to that object, you will know it. If your mind is not pointing to that object, you will not know it. Even your mind is restless. So that means if the mind knows an object, that's because of one-pointedness, according to Theravada. Life faculty is trying to take care of other Ceta and Cetasika for their survival. So, life faculty or vitality. So, attention make the object in the mind. Altogether 7 universes. According to Mahayana Abhidhamma, one-pointedness, life faculty is not mentioned. According to Mahayana Abhidhamma, contact, feeling, perception, volition, attention, only 5. Only 5. So they are called universals. Okay. So therefore, there are a few differences between Theravada and other Abhidhamma, Theravada Abhidhamma and other Abhidhammas. Okay, so now let's finish about 7 universals. Now we'll study 6 occasions. 6 occasions. So the earlier 7 will arise together with any type of chetas. But here, occasionally, these 6 cetasika will arise occasionally. Not all the time, not all the time. So therefore, we call it occasional. Their association with the Cheta is mixed or miscellaneous. In Pali, we call it pakenaka. So that means they are missing. Sometime they were associated with the Cheta, some Cheta, and they were not associated with some other Chetas, right? So they are mixed. They are found only in particular type of consciousness, not in all consciousness. And they were associated with some Chetas occasionally, only some Cheta occasionally. So later I think you will know. Later you will know. Maybe the first one is Vitaka, right? Vitaka. Initial application of thought. Vitaka were not associated with the second jhana, right? Second jhana. Vitaka were not associated with third jhana, the fourth jhana, and the fifth jhana. But Vitaka were associated with the first jhana. So I think now you understand. So Vitaka associated with some Cheta occasionally, some Cheta. Vitaka do not associate with some other Chetas. So that is the occasionally. Number 1 is thought or initial application, Vitaka. Number 2, examination or sustained application. So according to Abhidhamma, examination or sustained application do not associate with the third jhana, the fourth jhana, and the fifth jhana, right? So therefore, their association is not universal. Their association is occasional. Number 1 is decision. And number 4 is energy, effect. Number 5, zest, rapture. And number 6, desire. Altogether 6. We call it 6 occasions. 6 occasions. We have Cheta associated with doubt, right? Vichikecha, Sahagata Cheta. So Vichikecha or doubt were not associated with this one. Cheta associated with the doubt were not associated with the decision, because, right? If you have a doubt in your mind, you cannot make any decision like that. So here, zest or rapture. So when you are angry, there's no pity, right? There's no pity like that. Desire. When you have 2 Chetas associated with the delusion, so they were not associated with desire, right? Like that. So later we have to learn. So these are 6 occasions. 6 occasions. Number 1 is thought or vitaka. Normally we already learned before we talk about jhana, right? In the first chapter, I already explained. Maybe I will repeat it again so that you understand better. Vitaka. Vitaka direct direct and bring the mind toward the object. Vitakka bring the mind toward the object. Train, right? The sound of the train is an object. The sound is an object. Then Vitakka bring your mind to the sound, train, the sound of the train, right? So therefore you hear the sound. So therefore Vitakka sometimes dangerous. It will bring so many objects, right? So many objects. Now Vitakka bring your mind to mind voice, or to the projector. It's good. So therefore you understand, right? You understand. Some people may be thinking about your job, your family right now, because Vitakka bring your mind to your family. Your family is an object. Your office is an object, right? So Vitakka bring your mind to your office, to your family, like that. It is the initial application of the mind to the object. Initial application. So Vitakka, Vitakka applying your mind, initial applying your mind to the object, right? So actually in here, Bhikkhu Bodhi, he used initial application. Maybe I use a simple one. But I think if you use initial application, it's better here because Abhidhamma is Abhidhamma. But in the Sutta, Sutta translation, Bhikkhu Bodhi use the word thought, not initial application, right? Vitakka. So characteristics of Vitakka is mounting all the mind onto the object. Mounting all the mind to the object. Or bringing all the mind to the object. Vitakka bring your mind to the object. So therefore, when we are meditating, so our Vitakka bring our mind to our breathing, right? To our breathing. Vitakka bring our mind to the breathing. When you're breathing in, we know we are breathing in. So that means Vitakka is walking. When you're breathing out, we know that we are breathing out. Sometimes when we are meditating, Vitakka bring our mind to other object, right? Object of the family, object of your office, right? Or one place, some places like that, right? So therefore, characteristics of Vitakka is mounting all the mind onto the object. Ordinary Vitakka simply applying the mind to the object, ordinary Vitakka. But when Vitakka is cultivated through concentration in meditation, it becomes a factor of jhana. So we already learned that, right? We already learned that. Bhikkhu Bodhi write it. Vitakka is compared with the close friend or the king, who bring a villager to the king. Vitakka is compared to a friend. Vitakka. So he will bring a villager. Villager live in the village, not familiar with the city or palace. So his close friend will bring a villager to the king. The king is an object. The king is an object. So a villager is consciousness. So that means a close friend bring a villager to the king. Vitakka bring the mind to the object. So when a villager and the king are familiar so much, they are very close. When the villager and the king become very close, we don't need a close friend, right? A villager can go to the king directly. So we don't need a close friend. We don't need Vitakka. So therefore, When we practice meditation, when we attain second jhana, we don't need any vitakka, right? We don't need any vitakka. So vitakka is like a close friend. When a villager, so that means consciousness, is very close to the king, we don't need a close friend. Similarly, when our mind is very close to an object, breathing object or nimitta, we don't need any vitakka, right? So therefore, second jhana, we're not associated with vitakka. It is also compared with a bee diving toward a flower. A bee diving means vitakka. A bee diving toward the flower. Flower means an object, right? Flower means an object. Actually, this is a mention in the commentary. The thing is, the function of vitakka is bringing the mind to the object. If you know this, enough, right? Enough. It's called initial application. So here, I want to talk about one more thing. In the Noble Eightfold Path, second factor is intention, not attention, intention, sankappa. Vitakka is also called sankappa, which can be rendered as a thought, sometimes intention. The intention is divided into two: wrong intention and right intention. So right intention is one of the factors of the Noble Eightfold Path. So we have in the Noble Eightfold Path. So right intention is one of the Noble Eightfold Path. So here, right intention means nothing but vitakka. It is good, but wrong intention also vitakka. It's not good. So vitakka can be either good or bad. It can be either good or bad. So we have, according to suttas, according to Magga Sanyutta, we have three kinds of right intention. Number one, renunciation. The thought of renunciation. So when you are, you have a intention to renounce something, right? Renounce something. It is nothing but non-greed. So when you are giving away something, when you are donating something, before your donation, you have a renunciation. The thought of renouncing what you have. Then only you can do dana. Right? You can do dana. You decided to participate or attend one-day meditation retreat, suppose. So in that retreat, you have to observe 8 precepts. You have to let go your dana, right? You have to let go makeup and also beautifying your face, etc. Right? So that means it's a renunciation. So it is intention to let go your dana, to let go, to see the movie, to listen to the music, etc. Right? That's renunciation. Then only you have a renunciation or non-greed in your mind, you can participate the one-day retreat, right? So therefore, renunciation is a kind of vitakka. Another one is non-evi abhyapara. Simply we can call it loving kindness. You may hear unpleasant sound, you may see unpleasant people, you may have unpleasant touch, unpleasant smell, unpleasant food, and unpleasant thing in your mind. Then you don't have any ill will in your mind. Of course, loving kindness, actually, non-ill will is wider than loving kindness, normally, loving kindness. So that means non-ill will or loving kindness a kind of vitaka, according to Bdmv. Another one is harmlessness, avihimsa. Simply we can call it compassion, right? Compassion. So you have an intention of harmlessness. It is so these are the three type of right intention. Renunciation, no ill will, and harmlessness. Another one we can call it non-greed, loving kindness, compassion. So here, non-greed is lobha, opposite of lobha. Loving kindness and compassion are opposite of dosa, right? Dosa. Then where is moha? Where is moha? Moha is nothing but right view. Right view is the opposite of moha. When you have a right view in your mind, you don't have any delusion, right? Delusion. So therefore, in Abhidhamma, not only in Abhidhamma, in Buddhism, having a right view is important. If you have a right view, then your intention also will be right. If your intention is right, you will have a right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effect, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Actually, one is missing. Right livelihood, right? Right livelihood, one is missing. So these are the Noble Eightfold Path. The Noble Eightfold Path. So when you look at the Noble Eightfold Path, when you have a right view, you don't have delusion in your mind. Then if you have a right view, you will have a right intention or right thought. In other words, right vitaka. Right vitaka. So that means here, what is right vitaka, right intention? It is, how to say, non-greed and non-hatred, right? Non-hatred, alobha and adosa. So therefore, when you look at the Noble Eightfold Path, so the first one is non-delusion, moha. And second one, we can call it non-greed and non-hatred, right? Right intention. So if your intention or your thinking is right, you will have a right speech, right action, right livelihood. All your action will be right, all your mindfulness will be right, all your concentration will be right. These are the Noble Eightfold Path. Okay? Then I want to talk about the difference between vitaka and manasikara, thought and attention. Thought, or initial application, vitaka, mounts the mind onto the object. Mount the mind on the object. Attention directs the mind toward the object, so as not to sidetrack into the other directions. So here, thought and attention look similar, but they do different function, right? They do different function. Vitaka brings the mind to the object. So attention we're trying to control, right? To go to the object directly. You still remember the example of charatiya, right? Charatiya. Trying to control the well-trained horses not to sidetrack to the other direction, right? To control. So in that way, he can, we will have a desired destination. So here, we take our brain, our mind to the object, right? But attention need to control so that our mind go to the object directly without going sidetrack, right? Without going sidetrack. Maybe I will give you an example. Sending the army to the battlefield. So here, the army is consciousness. Consciousness. Battlefield means an object. An object. So we take up, send the army to the battlefield, right? Then some of the soldiers may run away, you know, if they are not controlled very well, right? Halfway, some of the soldiers may run away if you do not control. So the controlling the soldier is the function of manasikara, attention. So manasikara marching toward the object, marching toward the enemies. Similarly, manasikara trying to control the mind to go to the object, So here, if you send the army to the battlefield, some of the soldiers may run away halfway. But here, intention or manasikara trying to make sure that all the soldiers go to the battlefield, right? Controlling, just like a charioteer trying to control well-trained horses to go to desired destination. Another one is chetana, ordering soldiers to kill their enemies. So chetana will motivate to kill, enemies, to order soldiers to kill enemies. That is the function of chetana. So that means we take out trying to bring the mind to the object. The attention will control the mind to go just only to the object, right? Not to be sidetracked. Chetana motivate to Chetana motivate Chaita and Chaitasika to engage in the object. So when you look at page number 81, Bhikkhu Bodhi write that attention is indispensable cognitive factor present in all states of consciousness. So that means attention will associate with all type of consciousness. Thought or vitakka is a specialized factor which is not indispensable to cognition. So that means vitakka associate with only 55 chaitas. Vitakka do not associate with 66, right? 66. Yeah. 66 chaitas. It does not associate with 66, right? Because we have a 121 chaita. 121. So that means vitakka associate with only 55. The rest, it does not associate with. Right? It does not associate with. So that means 66. 66. So attention will associate with all chaitas. Vitakka will associate only 55. 55. So there's a difference between thought and attention. Okay, any question? Any question? No question, okay. Then second one is a examination, vichara. Vichara, we call it sustained application, right? Bhikkhubodhi translates sustained application. Vichara is a sustained application of the mind on the object. It keeps the mind, the continuous exercise on the object in a way of examination. So that means Vitaka will bring the mind to the object. So Vichara sustain the mind to stay nearby, nearby. Suppose you think about your family. So that means Vitaka bring your mind to the family. The family is an object, Then Vichara trying to sustain near the object. Because of Vichara, you are thinking about your family continuously. Vitaka take the mind to the object, put the mind near the object. Vichara keep the mind on that object and trying to anchor there. Vitaka bring the mind to the object, and Vichara trying to stay there, hovering nearby. So here also we have another example. Vitaka is like a bee diving toward a flower. Bee diving toward the flower. That's a Vitaka. Vichara is like the bees hovering over it, nearby, stay nearby. So therefore, when you attain the first jhana, Vitaka bring your mind to the meditation object, right? Meditation object. And Vichara trying to stay nearby. So in the second jhana, so there's no Vitaka. We don't need Vitaka because Vichara trying to hungering or hovering nearby, very nearby, staying around the object. So the mind is not moving, not moving anywhere, just staying near the object. That's Vichara. Okay, I think that is not difficult, right? Okay. Any question up to now? No question. Okay. Then next one is decision, Atimauka. Decision, Atimauka. Atimauka literally means the releasing of the mind onto the object. It is translated as a decision or resolution. Decision or resolution. So, Atimauka release your mind, onto the object. Then only you know that object. Releasing your mind, putting your mind here, on the object. It decides what the object is. Because of that decision, you know the object. If you have chaitas associated with the delusion, mohamula chaita. If your mind is associated with the delusion, you cannot decide, right? Your mind is deluded, your mind is restless, your mind is full of doubt. Then you cannot decide. So in those times, there's no decision in your mind. You cannot make any decision. So that means Atimauka decide what the object is. Making decision to do either good or bad is Atimauka. According to Abhidhamma, satta in Pali, simply we call it faith. Faith, if you have a faith or satta, satta will associate with beautiful chaitas only. Satta is always kusala, chaitasika. Kusala Chitasika, beautiful Chitasika. But how about blind faith? We also have blind faith, right? According to Abhidhamma, blind faith is considered as a Dimauka. It's not a Satta. It's not a Satta, according to Bdmv. It is compared to a stone pillar owing to its unshakable resolve toward the object. It is like a stone pillar, so even though you have a very strong wind may strike, so stone pillar cannot move. Just like that, when you have a Dimauka in your mind, decision in your mind, so the other thing cannot shake. Decision, Dimauka. Dimauka also were associated with only some type of chaita, not all the chaita, right? Later we have to learn. Energy, vidya. Sometimes we translate as the effort, right? Effort. Energy or effort. Vidya is an energetic mental effort to do something. It supports and upholds all the associated mental factors not to collapse. So there are other chaita and chaitasika that arise together with the vidya. The function of vidya is it will support not to collapse. It is compared to a supporting timber that reinforces the old house not to collapse. It is a direct enemy of laziness. So when you are lazy, so that means you don't have mental energy. Right now, I think today's lesson a little bit boring. I saw some of you are less mental energy, less mental energy. So that here, virya means mental energy that support your mind. Actually, your body, the mind and body connected, right? If you have less mental energy, then the body will express. The body will show. So therefore, virya means mental and energetic mental effort. So it controls your chaitas and chaitasika not to collapse. It is a direct enemy of laziness and drowsiness. We call it sloth and torpor, right? Sloth and torpor. Vidya. And vidya were not associated with some of the chaita and chaitasika, right? Some of the chaitas. Okay. Another one is sest. Sometimes we call it sest. In the book, Bhikkhu Bodhi used sest. But in the sutta, he used rapture. Abhidhamma translation, he used sest. In the sutta, he used rapture. Piti is a joy or delight in the object. It generates pleasurable interest in the object. When piti is present in the mind, it refreshes the mind and body. Here, you can see the pleasurable interest. If the subject is interesting, right? And you will be you'll be happy to learn, or it's pleasant to learn. So when you have a piti in your mind, wherever, whether it is unwholesome or wholesome, then it's called piti, pleasurable interest. When piti is present in the mind, it refreshes the mind and body. So when you are doing something that you are interested in, your mind and body will be very light, right? Not heavy, like that. pleasure by interest. When you are meditating, when you have a piti, your body is not tiring, fresh. Even though you sit long hour, your body is still fresh. That's because of piti. Sometimes you may be reading a book which is interesting. Even though it takes long time, it's not tiring. Physically, you may be tired. Mentally, not. Mentally, not. When I start to teach Sutta study class, as well as Abhidhamma class, so I have to take a lot of time to study and to write my note. Long hours, Bhante Chaitra told me, take care of your head. Take care of your head. Because I sit down so many hours, and also sometimes if I do not finish my lessons before the class, then I sometimes sleep only a few hours. Sometimes 3 hours. Continuously doing. The body is tired, of course, but the mind is not. Because of pleasure or interest. I'm interested in doing that. Similarly, when the children are playing game, right? Playing game, many hours. Pleasure by interest, right? They have a pity in it. So therefore, even though they play many hours, their body, their mind stay fresh. Same thing, right? Same thing. In meditation, when you have a piti, then you are pleased to meditate. Meditation is not a tiring thing for you. But for beginners, doing meditation is very tiring, right? Very tiring, because you don't have a piti yet. So therefore, piti, pleasure by interest. Pleasure by interest. It can be a hindrance to go to higher level of spiritual achievement. So therefore, in the fourth jhana, we don't have a piti, right? Only you can overcome piti, you can attain the fourth jhana. Like that, in our life, when we have a piti in our mind, to work in an office or to do something, there's no progress. You enjoy it to do this. You will not make more effort to go higher level. So therefore, having a piti is good. But when you go to higher level, you need to overcome piti. Otherwise, you cannot go to the fourth jhana, right? The fourth jhana, etc. So piti is translated in English in different ways, such as zest and rapture by Bhikkhu Bodhi, pleasurable interest by Mr. Shuizan Ao. So Mr. Shuizan Ao is the first one who translated Abhidhamma Sangha in English from Myanmar. He translated Abhidhamma Sangha for the first time. Then Bhikkhu Narada Mahathera translated Abhidhamma Sangha second time. And Bhikkhu Bodhi, he edited earlier edition. So Bhikkhu Bodhi translate piti as a zest or rapture. Mr. Shuizan Ao, he translate pleasurable interest. Very beautiful word. And Ukole, also another Burmese guy, he translated joyful satisfaction. Joyful satisfaction. You enjoy to do it if you have piti in your mind, right? Piti in your mind. So therefore, even Abhidhamma classes and Sutta study class, very long, Abhidhamma normally 3 years. Suttas also 3 years normally. Then without piti you cannot attend. Here many people disappear, right? They don't have a piti in the Abhidhamma, right? So therefore, if you have a piti to learn Abhidhamma, it's good. So very interesting, right? Okay, piti is that this is a Bhikkhu body writing. Piti is translated as a rapture, a rendering which fit its role as a jhana factor, but may not be wide enough to cover its all nuances. So therefore he used zest in Abhidhamma here, because this piti cover in normal sense. So when we translate piti in jhana, we use the word rapture. He said, right? He said. Okay, any question? No question? Then continue. This one is the desire, chanda. Chanda means desire to act. Desire to act, desire to do something, desire to speak, desire to think, desire. So therefore, it can be either good or bad. Sometimes we have a desire to do good deed, sometimes desire to do bad deed, right? Sometimes we have a desire to do pleasant things, sometimes we have a desire to do unpleasant things, to speak unpleasant things. Like that. Chanda can be both good and bad. Desire to do good things is positive, and desire to do unwholesome things is a negative. Because some people translate tanha as a desire. We are in the Noble Eightfold Path. Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths. The first one is suffering, right? Second one is craving. Second one is the cause of suffering, the original suffering, tanha. So some scholars, they translate tanha as a desire. So therefore, it leads to misunderstanding. Normally, according to Abhidhamma, chanda is a desire to do something. That something can be good and bad. So lobha, greed, is totally negative, according to Abhidhamma. Later we will see. Lobha is akusala cittasika. So therefore, negative chanda and lobha are similar. But we also have positive desire, right? So therefore, some scholars, they want to translate second noble truth, samudaya satcha, right? Samudaya satcha, the original suffering, as a desire. Tanha as a desire. It's not correct. We should translate as a craving, craving or attachment. Then I give a one Dhamma talk that I want to differentiate between craving and desire. Desire or chanda, in Pali chanda, it associates with both good and bad. Desire to do good things, desire to do bad things, right? But craving, always bad. It associates with the lobha. Okay. Now, we already completed comment to the other Cittasika, Inya Samana Cittasika. Bhikkhu body translated as the ethically variable factors. Cittasika, which are common to both beautiful citta and non-beautiful cittas. So we were 70, 7 universes, and 6 occasions. Altogether 70. We call it command to the other, inya samana. Bhikkhu body will use ethically variable factors. Okay, now we finish 30 inya samana cetasika. Any question? Okay, here, question.
Hi, Bhante. Earlier you said the Theravada Abhidhamma has 7 universal, whereas the Mahayanis only have 5, excluding one-pointedness 5, right?
Only 5.
Excluding one-pointedness and life faculty. Is there a reason given for this exclusion?
Actually, I didn't read the reason why. Maybe because in Paticcasamuppada, when you talk about Vijnana Pacha Nama Rupa, right? Because of consciousness, Nama and Rupa arise. So when you talk about Nama, the Sutta say like a contact, feeling, perception, motivation, then attention. Right? There's no mention about one-pointedness or life faculty. Maybe Mahayana trying to take it this one. Maybe that's the reason I can think right now. Because sometimes when we talk about in Theravada, we use 31 planes of existence, right? We use the word loka. Loka means the world, right? But in Mahayana Abhidhamma, they use the word bhumi. Kama vachara bhumi. Kama bhumi, rupa bhumi, and arupa bhumi, right? So kama vachara bhumi. Rupa vachara bhumi and arupa vachara bhumi. We can trace back to the original suttas. In Bhava Sutta, Bhava Sutta in Anguttara Nikaya. So the Buddha used the word bhumi. Bhumi means the place, right? The place. We have a sensory sphere place, 11, right? We have a 5 material sphere place. And immaterial sphere place. I mean, of course, in the Sutta, the Buddha also used the word loka. So Theravada used the word loka, kama loka, rupa loka, arupa loka. And we can also find in the suttas. In Mahayana, they use kama dhatu, rupa dhatu, and arupa dhatu. We also can trace that in the suttas. So I don't know. Maybe they will be. They are trying to use. They purposely choose different name now, huh? So as to differentiate between two schools. Huh? Suppose you use the word loka, then I don't want to use it. I find another usage, another term, maybe bhumi, like that. But here I think Theravada trying to add one-pointedness and life faculty. Because of course one-pointedness also associated with all chetas. And life faculty, when you look at the nature of life faculty, right, it will associate with other cheta and cetasika. It will take care of other cheta and cetasika for their surviving. Okay, any question? No question, right? Okay, so I think we still have 15 minutes. Maybe I don't want to go next session. If you still have a question, you can ask. Otherwise, we will have to close. close the class. No question, right? Okay, let's call it a day. Yo varatam bhavaro manu jesu sakya muni bhagava kata kecho parakato bala Viriya samangi tan sukata saranatamu raga viraga maninjama sokan Dhamma masangata patikulan Marura mimam pagunan suvipatan Dhamma mimam saranatamu pemi Yata chade nama apalamahu Chatu sisu purisa yogesu Atacha pogala dhammadasate Sangami mansaranatamu pemi. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, thank you.